changed the law to allow them in 2018. A Channel 2 Action News exclusive. We're live with the governor hours after Major League Baseball pulled its All-Star game from Truist Park.
The rippling effect would be devastating to this community.
The governor's reaction to that and the financial impact for businesses depending on that boost.
We've been monitoring the lines for vaccinations across the state, but now we see where some Georgia pharmacies have a surplus. We're taking a look at the data county by county.
Life's full of little accidents. And Hyundai Tucson's Lane Keeping Assist can help make sure they stay little.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash or $3,500 in savings on the 2021 Tucson. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
I'm attorney Ken Nugent. What you're about to hear is a true story.
I was sitting at a red light, and out of nowhere, a car slams into the back of me. I went to the ER, but they just sent me home. Turns out I had a really bad back injury. I called the Ken Nugent Law Firm. They got me good medical care. They made sure my back surgery was paid for, and they got me $775,000.
Our job is to maximize the value of your case. Big case or small, one call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
With the Elantra's completely wireless Apple CarPlay, it's no wonder it was named the 2021 North American Car of the Year.
Now get 0% APR for 60 months, plus $500 bonus cash on the 2021 Elantra. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Shutout by Major League Baseball means no All-Star game in Georgia.
This evening, only Channel 2 Action News is talking one-on-one with the governor about the decision to move the game after he signed the new election law.
The rippling effect would be devastating to this community.
The concerns from local business leaders who were hoping for their first big boost since the pandemic.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
And good evening. I'm George Estevez. Justin has the evening off.
I'm Jovita Moore, and we have that breaking news this hour. No All-Star game for baseball in Georgia. Major League Baseball announced today it's pulling the game from Truist Park because of all of the controversy surrounding Georgia's new election laws. In the past 30 minutes, we heard from Cobb County's commission chairperson. She says there's an opportunity to rise from this blow. Channel 2's Cobb County Bureau Chief Chris Jose live at Truist Park. And Chris, in that news conference, she says she did not get a phone call from Major League Baseball about this.
Right, no phone call from Major League Baseball this afternoon, but Cobb Commission Chairwoman Lisa Cupid did get a phone call from me just before 3 o'clock this afternoon, a few minutes after the announcement came down that Major League Baseball was pulling the All-Star game here from Truist Park in Cobb County. As you mentioned, in the last 30 minutes, Cupid said there's an opportunity to rise from this blow. Over the last week, Cupid made it very clear she does not agree with Georgia's new voting law and fought to keep the All-Star game at Truist Park. Cupid said the economy in Cobb County depends on travel and tourism, and the industry would have been uplifted, especially after the impact of the of coronavirus, the pandemic. Local businesses were excited for a big boost. Owners telling me today they are crushed. Cobb County was expecting All-Star Weekend in July to generate all kinds of dollars, and I can also tell you that Cupid very adamant that business here in Cobb County needs all the help it can get.
While I certainly am disappointed that Major League Baseball has decided to pull the All-Star game from Cobb County, Georgia, I certainly do understand and ask that we take this as an opportunity to reflect on what occurred and to determine what we can do to address some of the challenges with this legislation, to encourage voter participation and inclusion in our county and in our state.
And again, in a nutshell, Cupid says there's an opportunity to address the recently passed legislation despite the blowback, despite this fallout that we're seeing with this recently passed law here in the state of Georgia. Cupid also telling folks that right now is the time to support local businesses in and around Truist Park. Live in Cobb County, Truist Park, Chris Jose, Channel 2 Action News.
So the governor is blasting Major League Baseball's decision to strip Georgia of this year's All-Star game. Joining us now exclusively on Channel 2 to talk about that decision, Governor Kemp, thank you for being with us. Baseball's Commissioner Rob Manfred said that this is all about taking a stance against ballot box restrictions, referencing the newly passed voting legislation here in Georgia. What's your reaction?
Well, Joe Vita, thanks for having me. My reaction is Major League Baseball has caved to the cancel culture and a bunch of liberal lies, quite honestly. He didn't cite one specific part of the bill that he disagrees with, and it's because Joe Biden and Stacey Abrams continue to lie about the Election Integrity Act that I just signed. And I believe for your viewers at home, you might as well get ready, because now that they're coming after your baseball game, they're going to come after your business. They're going to come after your way of life. But I will tell you, I'm not backing down. This is a good bill that provides more access, especially on the weekends, and many other things that I've been saying for days. And it's really a sad day for hardworking Georgians, for baseball fans like myself, that Major League Baseball just caved to the pressure.
Governor, you said cave to the pressure, but also during the last election cycle, you and many others said that there was no fraud here, that there were no problems with the elections here in Georgia from November through the runoff and then January. So if people feel like there was nothing wrong, then what needs to be changed? And so if they want to make changes, how is that caving to pressure?
Well, I guess Major League Baseball doesn't support us adding additional days for people to vote early, is all I can say. Jovita, you got an organization that's headquartered in New York where you have to have an excuse to be able to vote an absentee ballot. In Georgia, you do not. In New York, they have 10 days of early voting where people can vote early. In Georgia, you have 17. And now if a county takes advantage of the 2 optional Sundays that was added in this bill, you'll have 19 potential days that people can vote early. That's 9 days more than New York. Yet the commissioner's pulling the game from here, hurting our small business owners because he simply doesn't know what's in the bill. The pressure from the White House and from the organization that Stacey Abrams runs, you know, they're up there lying. Nobody will call them out. What the president said the other day, he got 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post. You know, the mechanics of the election this year, there was definitely problems. The legislature, I think, did a great job of wading through those and making some good changes that's going to help the county elections officials. Some of the things in the bill was recommended by the Association County Commissioners of Georgia. The photo ID or voter requirement we've had since 2006 in Georgia is going to speed up the absentee voting process by mail at the local level so that results can be reported quicker. All these people that are bowing to the cancel culture, none of them have cited one example of why you should be boycotting this game. I asked them that. They don't mention that. It's just the political pressure that's on them. And it's a good thing for your viewers to know that that is coming to your house and your neighborhood now. But I will tell you, we will continue to fight that because we are on the right side of this, and the truth will set you free.
Right. So, Governor, I understand everything you're saying, but also throughout the whole election cycle, so many people said that there was no fraud here. There were no problems. So now when you want to sort of change everything...
Well, Jovita, I would disagree with you that there were no problems. When you have people that are trying to monitor the election that are pushed away where they can't see that, that is a problem. You know, the president brought up the whole thing about water the other day, which he is not, you know, factually correct. He's lying on. But the question is, why were people standing in line so long that they would need food or water? Shouldn't those voters be upset that they're having to stand in line 4 to 6 hours? Where the General Assembly and I was, in this bill, we fixed that by mandating more equipment at the precincts. And if people have to wait over an hour, it forces the county elections office the next election to do something about that so people aren't out there long enough that need to do that. I mean, it's ridiculous for people to be standing in line for 6 hours. That doesn't happen all over the state. It happened in specific places. When counties are starting and stopping the counting of the vote, it brings doubt and confusion to the voter. And I'm not saying fraud. I'm just saying confidence in the process.
Right.
And that's something else that the legislature dealt with in this bill.
Right. Certainly, Governor, we've seen people stand in line for hours for elections before.
Absolutely.
And there were no drastic changes made after that. It was like, okay, well, that's how election day went. And so we're going to move on to the next election day. But I think so many people...
Yeah, I would disagree with you on that, Jovita. I know when I was Secretary of State, when counties would have long lines, their election boards would meet and make sure that that didn't happen again, or take instances where that's taken care of. And now the legislature's gotten so tired of these perennial counties where these issues don't happen, they did something about it this year. It has nothing to do, there's people that, I'm sure think there was fraud in the election, and other people that think it was just fine. And you can be wherever you are on that, but it still doesn't change the facts of this bill, makes the mechanics of the election better. It provides more access for weekend voting, and it's doing a lot of things that we've been doing in Georgia for a long time to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat.
Governor, what would you say to those critics of these changes who say the changes are only being made because the people didn't get the results that they wanted? Some people did not get the results they wanted, so now they want to change all the rules of the game. And I'm sure you've heard that criticism here in the last few weeks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I would ask them, what are the specific things that they don't like about the bill? And I've been answering those kind of questions and talking to people ever since I finished signing it. The legislature did that for 4 or 5 months when they were debating the bill. But I'll also tell you, the people that voted for this bill, they were duly elected on November 3rd as well. The Republican majority won and kept strong majorities in the General Assembly, in the Senate and the House. And, they felt like this was important to do. And again, there's provisions in this bill, Jovita, that the Democrats weighed in on. County elections officials were asking the legislature to do. You can look back in the past. There's been election cleanup bills time and time again. If this bill hadn't passed, you wouldn't have drop boxes right now. They've never been in the law before. It was only done because of a emergency power the state election board had under the public health state of emergency. So if this bill hadn't passed, you wouldn't even be able to allow to have drop boxes in the next election. And we have addressed that in a secure way in adding those to counties that didn't have them during 2020. Some counties didn't have drop boxes.
And certainly this past election cycle was different in that we were all having to vote during a pandemic. So a lot of those changes were made for the safety of the public, thinking about the safety of our elderly and sick people who needed to get out to cast their ballots. So those changes were made under that umbrella. But certainly they were changes that many people thought were positive and effective. And now it looks like it's all being changed back again.
Well, I would disagree saying that everybody thought they were positive and effective. Some of the things that the General Assembly weighed in on, they obviously didn't think that. I know there's a lot of people that didn't think it was proper for ballot drop boxes to be out there. They were supposed to be secured or either having a camera on them, and you go back after the fact, and there were no cameras on them. They weren't secured at certain times of the day and weren't monitored, which is concerning for a lot of people, quite honestly. And that was something that was addressed. Didn't take them away, just securing the ballot drop boxes, which I think most people think is a smart thing to do.
Okay, and those comments came from, there were county elections offices who said that their ballot drop boxes were secured and that there were cameras on them. And then, of course, the Secretary of State's office also co-signed that to say that that was in place. And so I think many voters expected that that was the case and it was happening. Governor, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that there's been people that have asked for those tapes to see those cameras, and they were not available because the cameras weren't working or they were never put on the drop boxes in the first place. But, that's certainly something that we could document if we need to.
All right. Governor Kemp, thank you so much for your time. We've run out of time here, but thank you, as always, for joining us to talk about these issues.
Thank you, Jovita. Happy Easter.
You too. Glenn.
Freeze warning going into effect again tonight. We're going to look at how cold your neighborhood is going to be and how long these sub-freezing temperatures will continue overnight. That's coming up.
Customers say their bank double charged them for their car loan payments, but they haven't gotten a refund.
I'm a senior on a fixed income, so I check my account daily to make sure everything's okay.
The difficulty they're facing in getting answers.
A 17-year-old girl accidentally shot and killed during target practice. You watched at 4 as investigators announced charges in the case. The friend accused in the accidental shooting, and why a second is facing a very different set of charges. That's live next.
Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
I'm Justin Farmer.
At Channel 2 Action News, our whole team works every day for one reason: to make sure you know every detail on what's happening where you live. From investigations with impact to breaking news you just have to see. No one brings you more local reporting and new details as stories change. We're always on with the big stories, covering all sides and taking you there live. Join us on Channel 2 Action News at 4, 5, and 6. It's coverage you can count on.
If you're injured, hire a lawyer who will fight for every penny you deserve. Last year, we recovered $1 billion for our clients. There's only one, Morgan & Morgan.
Garage not found. Everything these days claims to be smart. But that doesn't mean they always work smart.
One smart thing you can rely on is Pennington Smart Seed. It's so smart it uses 30% less water year after year and is guaranteed to grow. Now that's smart that works. Pennington Smart Seed, real intelligent turf.
Americans expect their elections to have safeguards. Only then can we have confidence the results are fair and accurate. Incredibly, some in Congress want to strip away those critical safeguards. No more voter ID. Signature verification on absentee ballots virtually eliminated. And effectively allowing non-citizens to vote. The list goes on. Every illegal vote cancels someone's legitimate vote, like yours. Tell your senators your vote matters. Tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 1.
You can now shop Home Center Outlet's 4 great locations 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shop your locally owned Home Center Outlet for all of your home renovation needs. From in-stock iron, wood, and fiberglass exterior doors to interior doors, bathroom vanities, kitchen cabinets, flooring, plumbing, and much more. Don't miss the savings. Find us in Atlanta, Kennesaw, Roswell, the Mall of Georgia, or at HomeCenterOutlet.com.
Hi, we're OfferPad, the new way homes are sold.
I went to OfferPad. I answered a few simple questions, and within 24 hours, I received a cash offer. I sold with OfferPad.
Start your free request today at OfferPad.com.
Hi, guys. Check out this side right here.
What'd you do?
Tell me how you did it. Yeah. Get a little closer. That's insane.
That's a different car.
That's the same car.
No.
Yeah, that's before, that's after. Oh, that's awesome.
Make it new with New Finish.
New developments tonight in the death of a 17-year-old girl shot and killed just weeks before graduation. Now 2 people are charged in connection to the accidental shooting of Candace Krizan. Channel 2's Justin Wilfond live in Carroll County, where tonight we found out exactly what happened right before her death, and those details, Justin, wow.
Yeah, just a terrible tragedy here in Carroll County this week, George. The sheriff's office did make it very clear at a press conference here just a short time ago that this was an accidental shooting here, but tonight the boy who fired that shot is facing serious charges. 17-year-old Jeremy Matthew Gray is in jail and facing multiple charges, including involuntary manslaughter for accidentally shooting and killing 17-year-old Candace Krizan. It happened in the backyard of a home in Carroll County on Tuesday.
At some point, Candace did have possession of a .22 pistol that they were using for target practice. The gun jammed, and she handed it to 17-year-old Jeremy Matthew Gray to clear the jam. As he was proceeding to do so, the gun did go off. It did strike Candace in the head and ultimately resulted in her death.
We learned much more about the shooting at a press conference at the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. After the shooting on Bowden Junction Road in Mount Zion, the Sheriff's Office says Gray tried to save Candace.
And Jeremy was visibly and physically shaken and struck with grief. He did try to render aid and was unsuccessful.
The Carroll County Sheriff's Office also arrested another teen, 18-year-old Samuel Blake Greer. He's charged with making terroristic threats after the Sheriff's Office says he threatened to harm Gray on social media in a post after the shooting.
We will not tolerate vigilante justice here or threat to harm others.
And the Sheriff's Office also telling us here tonight that the gun belonged to Gray's grandparents. His grandfather, who recently passed away, was an avid collector of guns. Reporting live in Carroll County tonight, Justin Wilfond, Channel 2 Action News.
Tonight, a Clayton County mother and her daughter are back together after a pretty scary standoff. We were there as the Clayton County SWAT team rescued the girl right there. We blurred out her face from her home on Dixboro Drive. Her mother told police her live-in boyfriend shot her this morning. She got out, but her kid was still inside. SWAT negotiators got the man to come to the door. Then they rushed in. Nobody got hurt.
New at 6, new data maps show a surplus of vaccines in South Georgia pharmacies this week at a time when so many are struggling just to get an appointment. Channel 2's investigative reporter Nicole Carr joins us live from Clayton County now with more on how our unfilled appointments compare to what's happening all across the rest of the country. Nicole?
Well, Jovita, when you have residential and commercial in a concentrated area like this, there's less of a challenge getting to that vaccine when it becomes accessible. But as we go south and we look at these pharmaceutical programs, we see a much different picture. 500 appointments filled up quickly for Clayton State University's vaccine drive Friday. It's an example of supply meeting access demands. Patients saying the proximity and convenience sealed the deal for them.
Because we live close and we wouldn't have to go like far as like other places, you know, it'd be like an hour, but yeah, this right here, 5 minutes.
The site largely serving a black and brown community that statistically suffered the most severe COVID outcomes.
My other daughter's having to drive for her second shot somewhere an hour away from where we live. Not sure why, but that's the way it was set up. To me, you know, at this point, we all just want to get vaccinated.
New data this week shows that just isn't happening in certain portions of our state. Compiled by Good Prescription, the map shows swaths of surplus at pharmaceutical giants CVS, Rite Aid, and Walmart. The data based on unfilled appointments. Take a look at the South, then turn to Georgia to see nearly 50 counties with a vaccine surplus in those pharmacies, most of them falling south of Metro Atlanta.
We do know that there's data that supports that there's greater hesitancy, or that the hesitancy is correlated with party affiliation.
We turn to data analyst Dr. Jorge Caballero, who noted in a wider picture, heavier conservative counties across the country had the greatest surplus. But the demographics aren't just political. In rural areas, transportation, the ability of working class to carve out time during the week to get vaccinated, and of course, digital appointment divides.
That's a barrier.
Caballero saying a uniform federal approach is still needed for distribution, as well as a targeted communication campaign. Most importantly, patients' ability to walk in without appointments needs to become more of the norm than the exception.
We can walk and chew gum at the same time, and this is a space where we really need to push ourselves to do that.
And back here, just about a mile away at Clayton State, we know because of the response that we saw today, another one of those drive-through sites is planned for April 6th, and that's one where you go to the university website to sign up. We're live in Clayton County. Mara, Nicole Carr, Channel 2 Action News.
Nicole, thank you. The CDC is part of a new study on home testing for COVID-19 here in the Southeast. People in Hamilton County, Tennessee, including Chattanooga, and Pitt County, North Carolina, are part of this research. Now, they're going to have access to free rapid antigen tests. The CDC and the National Institutes of Health want to know if home testing can help reduce the spread of the virus. A customer targeted after cashing a check at a local bank, and we've seen this happen before. So there is a new warning for you from police.
New developments now in this arrest of an activist. The new decision about the officer involved.
The Major League Baseball All-Star Game has moved out of Atlanta. We're getting reaction from the Braves next.
COVID kept people off the roads, but more Georgians have lost their lives behind the wheel.
It's terrible. They need to slow down.
We investigate what's causing the numbers to spike and the bad behaviors to avoid so everyone stays safe. Monday at 5.
Next ET, our Jessica Simpson exclusive, talking her reality TV return. Plus, we're breaking news to the stars of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No one's said that to us ever.
Next ET.
Tonight at 7:30, sponsored by Mattress Firm. Get your spring on at Ross. Yes, with brand name looks at prices that say it's on. Yeah, it is. Get this season's styles for you, and you, and you, with the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes for less.
Front door, garage, back door, everything. Sorry, Dad.
Comfort zones aren't meant to be permanent.
Hey, can we talk about this?
Later. By choice or by chance, things will change.
2 p.m. meeting. cool.
Regions in Atlanta has the people, tools, and tech
We need an account we both can access.
to help you brave the beginning.
My dad started Jim Ellis Volkswagen back in 1971. 50 years later, we've become the largest family dealership group in Atlanta.
A lot has changed over these 50 years, but some things will never change.
We treat every customer like family. That's the Jim Ellis promise.
And how we make car buying easy with the Jim Ellis Expressway.
Shop safely in store.
Or at home at jimellis.com.
Thank you for a fantastic 50 years from all of us at Jim Ellis Automotive.
Where you can always expect the best.
It's a familiar story. Allergies ruining your sleep and next day too. Taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec at nearly half the size. Be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
So you went to Ross and saved big on shoes?
Oh, yeah.
And snagged Yes Please brands at no way prices. Hurry in for fresh styles for the whole fam and say cheers to spring with the best bargains ever at Ross. Yes for less.
The United Way needs virtual volunteers to decorate and fill shoeboxes with personal items for the homeless. See what's needed and where to drop your box at WSBTV.com/community. Family to Family and Grady Hospital. Community coverage you can count on.
Sports on Channel 2 is presented by Estes Heat, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical. It's that easy. It's Estes. Call Estes now for this great offer.
So, the Major League All-Star Game will not be held at Truist Park this summer. The commissioner made that announcement this afternoon. And Channel 2 sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo joins us here now with reaction from the team.
Well, so far, we have not heard from any of the Braves players or coaches, but the team did release a statement about an hour after the MLB announced the All-Star Game was being moved. The Braves statement says this was not our decision or recommendation, and we are saddened that fans will not be able to see this event in our city. The Braves organization will continue to stress the importance of equal voting opportunities, and we had hoped our city could use this event as a platform to enhance the discussion. Now, the MLB has not announced a new host city at this time. Staying with the Braves, part of the reason we haven't had a chance to hear from the players is because they have the day off in Philly today. So there was no media availability, and if the off day seems random, it's not. That's just the way the schedule was built when teams open up the season up north, in case the first game gets canceled due to weather. However, the team skipper Brian Snitker says it wasn't going to be a typical full off day for his guys.
We'll come out and guys can, we're going to provide if they want to come out, hit in the cage and work out, throw the ball around, and guys are, just give them the option to get out of the hotel and move around outside. So I'm sure probably the majority of them will. That's one of the strange things when you open in the north that they have. So one of the advantages of opening at home. We don't have to have that.
It's going to be a battle of backup players tonight in New Orleans. The Hawks, who are already without John Collins, Cam Reddish, and DeAndre Hunter, will also be without Danilo Gallinari and Trae Young. Trae, who appeared to tweak his knee in the first half of last night's double overtime win over the Spurs, finished with 28 points and 12 assists. However, he won't play tonight due to left knee soreness. The Pelicans will also be without 4 key guys tonight, including Lonzo Ball and Zion Williamson. Also, though, I want to end here with some happier news, right, for soccer fans. Atlanta United will host fans at 50% capacity for the team's first home match on April 24th against Chicago Fire FC, which means probably more than 21,000 could be there for the Five Stripes' first home match. So that will be nice to see. A long waited to see about 20,000 fans packed in the Benz. You know they can pack more in there, too.
Yes, and not only see them, but hear them, too, and that's going to be the best part.
That's the best
And
part.
it's really them. Yes.
Yes. No.
Allison, thank you.
So customers double charge for their auto loan payments. Now they say they can't get their money, their bank rather, on the phone.
I didn't know what to do because I was getting ready to pay my rent.
Tonight, we have new answers from the bank about what it's doing to help customers impacted.
New developments in the case of an activist who says an officer used excessive force during this encounter. The punishment just handed down to that officer.
69 degrees is the average high this time of the year. All we could do today was 56. Another freeze warning tonight. How cold we're going to be by morning, and your Easter forecast coming up next.
There was a time when the world felt freshly painted, when meadows blossomed in brush-stroked bloom, and the tulips wove a tapestry of pastel light and morning dew. There was a time when we marveled at the beauty within us and at the art on all sides and all around. It was a glorious time. It was spring. This spring at Biltmore. Awaken to Biltmore in bloom.
Did you know with some Marketplace health insurance plans, you can be out thousands of dollars before your health insurance pays anything? With CareSource, you no longer have to meet huge deductibles before your insurance kicks in for basics like doctor visits, urgent care, and prescriptions. It's time to get more than you think for less than you thought. Count on CareSource. Enroll in a Marketplace plan today. Visit caresource.com/Georgia Marketplace for more information.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda Pilot. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
It's more than a house. It's your home. With over 90 years in Atlanta, Harry Norman Realtors is the most experienced choice for buying and selling a home. But the quality of our service is only as good as the customer experience.
Professional, knowledgeable, and a skilled negotiator.
Outstanding customer service went above and beyond.
Top-notch, friendly, and very informed about our market.
Expect the best with Harry Norman Realtors. With over 90 years experience in real estate, Harry Norman is Atlanta's first in luxury.
For new energy-efficient windows that are sure to induce envy, call the team at Superior Pro. As Atlanta's #1 choice for exterior home renovations, we're committed to installing the highest quality windows backed by a lifetime warranty. Head to superiorpro.com to schedule your free quote today.
At Montlick & Associates, our attorneys are standing by to get you the compensation and benefits you deserve after an accident.
Simply call 1-800-LAW-NEED for your free consultation, or dial #WIN from your cell phone. That's #946.
Weather presented by Montlick & Associates. Injured? Dial #WIN from your cell phone.
Hi, everybody. We were cold this morning. Where are we? How about 22 degrees this morning in Jasper? Right now, 56 in Atlanta. Our cool spot is Blairsville at 49. Our warm spot here in Athens at 58 degrees now. Been out today, you're saying my throat's really dry, my skin's really dry. Yeah, look at the humidity levels. 23%. 19% in Griffin, 16% humidity here in LaGrange. We're also getting into a high fire danger with these very low humidity levels, so I want you to be weather aware of that over the coming days. So again, we're looking at some really dry weather continuing, and the lighter winds tonight. They're 8 miles per hour here in Atlanta, so clear sky, light wind, dry air, perfect recipe for another cold night. That's why we have the freeze warning going into effect at midnight, continuing until 10 a.m. All of these counties highlighted in purple cover those cold-sensitive plants, especially the seedlings, and not so much the well-established plants. And don't forget to bring those pets inside. And again, as a general rule, most plants that are established here will take at least 5 hours at temperatures below 28 degrees to die. So again, I don't think we're going to see that kind of a significant problem. Low temperature tonight in town at 33. That's where we were this morning. We'll see some upper 20s here in the western suburbs, lower 30s, Gainesville into Athens, also around Eaton, 30 here for us in Griffin, and also around West Point Lake and LaGrange. Now, a nice warm up tomorrow, warmer than today, got up to 56 today, looking at 62 in Atlanta tomorrow, so low to mid 60s, but the average is still 69 degrees this time of the year. All right, here's your day planner. Sunshine at 8:34. We'll be in the mid-50s by lunch, and 4 o'clock temperature at 64. Heading down to the beaches, let me show you this, and the water temperatures here. Boy, they're really kind of cold here on Panama City, Fort Walton. You're looking at water temperatures in that 60 to 70 degree range. You don't really see the warmer water until we get out here in the middle part of the Gulf of Mexico. So again, a lot of cold water here and some cold air temperatures too. Panama City, 7 o'clock in the evening on Friday, 60 degrees. Going on toward the Saturday high temperature, still in the mid 60s. Sunday, still mid to upper 60s for daytime highs. And boy, again, I haven't seen this kind of cold weather for spring break in a long time. 70 degrees for a high temperature on Monday. All right, 5-day forecast for us. We stay dry over the next 5 days and warming up nicely. Easter Sunday at 69, 74 Monday will be 77 Tuesday and 79 on Wednesday. Doing some fishing tomorrow. Picked a great weather day. Fishing's really good, and we'll peak at 7 a.m. in the morning and 7:40 tomorrow evening. Hope you have a great Easter holiday weekend.
You too, Glenn. Thank you. Some customers at Wells Fargo got an unwelcome surprise when they checked their bank accounts this week. The money for their car loan was deducted twice. Channel 2's investigative reporter Justin Gray live in Northeast Atlanta. He's been working to get answers for those customers who were affected by this. Justin?
And Jovita, a spokesperson for Wells Fargo tells me this evening they believe they have returned the money to customer accounts, but they won't tell us tonight how many customers have been affected, and they won't say why they never told those customers this had happened.
I'm a fixed income. I cannot afford to make 2 car payments in 1 month.
Griffin resident Karen Randazzo noticed Wells Fargo debited her bank account twice this month for her car loan because she checks her balance every day.
I didn't know what to do because I was getting ready to pay my rent, and I was afraid the rent check was going to bounce because of this.
Randazzo is just one of many Wells Fargo customers that got hit twice for their auto loans this week.
Welcome to Wells Fargo. We are aware some customers had duplicate payments debited from their account.
If you call Wells Fargo customer service, you get a recorded message acknowledging the problem.
When something like this happens, let your customer know.
Lori Silverman from the Team Clark Consumer Action Center says Wells Fargo should have proactively reached out to impacted customers, and it didn't.
For Wells Fargo to have this happen and not alert the customer is horrible.
Wells Fargo won't say how many customers were impacted, but tells us in a statement, quote, due to a systems issue with Wells Fargo's auto business, some customers had their loan payments debited twice from their bank accounts yesterday. We worked quickly to automatically reverse the duplicate withdrawals and apologize to our customers who were impacted by this issue.
I automatically pay all my bills as soon as I get my check, and I know what I have to live off of for the rest of the month. And with this, it just threw me like, what?
And if you do have a Wells Fargo auto loan, you should double check your account, make sure everything's the way it should be. Karen Randazzo tells us the money is now back in her account, but this isn't the first time this has happened. Back in 2018, Wells Fargo also auto deducted double with some accounts. Reporting live in Northeast Atlanta, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
You know, you want to be able to set those automatic payments, Justin, but sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. Thank you for this update, George.
Jovita, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office announced today it earned re-accreditation. The designation comes from the Commission of Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, or CALIA. Fulton County Sheriff calls it the gold standard in public safety accreditation. The Sheriff's Office says it has maintained the honor for a decade.
We haven't seen so much travel since the pandemic started.
Last year, they canceled our flight because of the coronavirus, so we had to do something this year.
But this weekend, a whole different level. There are several things you need to know before you go out to travel.
And major changes that could help cut traffic. The new word from MARTA today.
And we're staying on top of the breaking news. An attack at the U.S. Capitol this afternoon. An officer was killed. We're taking you live to Washington, D.C.
One of the biggest challenges of anyone who has a great idea is trying to figure out how to let the world know. People are trying to get on TV shows. They're wondering what to do with social media. I have the best shortcut for you. It's called Local Steals and Deals. All you have to do is text IDEAS, I-D-E-A-S, to 65,000, and you can find out more about how to be part of the Local Steals and Deals family. Do you have a great idea? Do you know somebody else who has a great idea? Do everybody a favor and text us.
The Fish and Game Report is brought to you by EMC Security.
Is social media's cancel culture trying to cancel
There's over 130 million views of the Menendez brothers on TikTok.
the Menendez brothers' prison sentences?
I don't believe they got a fair trial.
Now, the new prison interview, 2020, tonight on ABC.
Lease a new 2020 Dodge Challenger GT for $299 a month during Dodge Performance Days. Just at the high prices, the all-new Union City Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat.
How the smarter shoppers are shopping in Atlanta. See how much more they saved at Walmart versus Kroger this week? And that's how the smarter shoppers saved over $27 on this cart at Walmart.
Americans expect their elections to have safeguards. Only then can we have confidence the results are fair and accurate. Incredibly, some in Congress want to strip away those critical safeguards. No more voter ID. Signature verification on absentee ballots virtually eliminated. And effectively allowing non-citizens to vote. The list goes on. Every illegal vote cancels someone's legitimate vote, like yours. Tell your senators your vote matters. Tell them to vote no on Senate Bill 1.
This is a no-nonsense message from 3. Small business insurance is usually so complicated you need to be a lawyer to understand it. That's why 3 was created. It's a better kind of business insurance. It's only 3 pages, straightforward. If you own it, 3 covers it. That's me. I don't even need to see what's happening behind me to know it's covered. This commercial is now over. Logo. 3. No nonsense, just common sense.
The spring 4-day sale is here at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Get up to $100 off play sets and bounce houses. Up to $100 off Pit Boss grills. 20% off all rods, reels, and fishing combos. And buy one, get one 50% off Magellan Outdoors fishing shirts. Shop the 4-day sale at Academy.
All law firms are not the same. Some firms drag your case out forever. Others make promises they can't keep. But some firms will get you more than others, and some will give you better service. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We're also following breaking news out of the nation's capital. Investigators say a man rammed his vehicle into officers, killing one Capitol police officer, hurting another one. Other officers shot and killed the man when he got out of the car with a knife. Channel 2 Samantha Manning has been live on the scene for hours for us now. And Sam, since we spoke to you last, police now, they've identified that officer who was killed.
Yeah, George, William Evans, known as Billy Evans to those who worked alongside him, was an 18-year veteran with the U.S. Capitol Police Department, and he served in the First Responders Unit. Now, this is a devastating loss for the department that was already reeling from losing another fellow officer back in January who had died after responding to the insurrection. So now they're mourning yet another loss of another officer. Now, this investigation is still ongoing. In just the last hour and a half, we watched them tow away the suspect's vehicle. We're standing just feet away from where that attack had happened. Police say that the suspect had rammed his car into 2 Capitol police officers, then got out of the car and lunged towards them with a knife, and that's when officers had fired, shooting and killing the suspect. At this point, the investigation is still ongoing into what the motive may have been, but right now there's no clear indication. Capitol Police say this was not a known suspect to them. They didn't have any file on this individual, so right now still unclear what may have led to this attack. Live in Washington, Samantha Manning, Channel 2 Action News.
Devastating for the Capitol Police Department. All right, Samantha, thank you. And the Capitol is still on high alert after what happened on January 6th, those riots. And today we found out another Georgian is now indicted as part of the ongoing investigation. Jack Wade Witten from Stockbridge is facing several charges, including engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds with a deadly or dangerous weapon. Right now, we are working to learn new information about a possible motive in today's attack at the Capitol. We are going to stay on top of any new information out of D.C. this evening, and we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it.
Within a few weeks, MARTA will restore all of the routes it suspended at the start of this pandemic. The transit agency suspended 70 of 110 routes last April. It added back 12 after ensuring that all safety measures could be in place there. MARTA says it installed new air filtration and purification systems on all of its buses. The remaining 58 routes start up again April 24th.
A reunion more than 20 years in the making. A young man met the woman who wrote him weekly while he was in an orphanage overseas.
Just looking back, knowing that someone loved you so much for so long and in such a stable way, that meant a lot.
I bet it did. The surprise for her family. Plus.
Yeah, take a look. It is pre-pandemic level traffic here at the airport. People are feeling more comfortable taking to the friendly skies this holiday weekend. I'll have that story coming up.
I'm Linda Stouffer. Every morning, we invite you to start your day with us. Want the big stories from overnight? We've got it. See what's happening live. It's everything you need to know to plan your day. Don't miss a thing. Join us Monday on Channel 2 Action News this morning, starting at 4:30.
Portions of Channel 2 Action News are brought to you by Atlanta Toyota.
Now is the perfect time to sell your home. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can sell your home hassle-free. No showings, no open houses, no stress. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Hi, folks. Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I called to get dental, transportation, meals, and the gift back benefit.
With this virus situation, I called to get everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-969-5571. That's 1-800-969-5571 now.
Top reasons to visit the Buy Ford Now sales event. Number 4, you need your space, and Ford Escape has more of it. 3, you want only the best, and Explorer is America's all-time best-selling SUV. 2, the 2021 Bronco Sport is here. Oh yeah. And number 1, get great deals during the Buy Ford Now sales event. Now get $1,000 Buy Ford Now bonus cash on Ford Escape, Explorer, and Expedition. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Last night's cash for evening numbers were 0, 6, and 8, and lottery players were more than $128,000. Watch the next drawing tonight at 6:59, only on Channel 2.
Sell your home fast with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Work with the most trusted team in the U.S. so you can close with confidence. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Happening now, we have seen some heavy traffic today as we start this Easter weekend. Here's a live look right now from our HD camera showing the Grady curve in downtown Atlanta. It looks light right now, right? But many people expected to hit the roads this weekend for spring getaways and Easter family gatherings as well. I can tell you traffic through Buckhead and Midtown today pretty much insane. It was like pre-pandemic Buckhead again. The CDC released new COVID-19 travel guidelines today for people who are fully vaccinated, so you can travel anywhere in the country 2 weeks after your second shot. Or if you get the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine, then you can travel 2 weeks after that. You don't have to get tested, nor do you have to quarantine for your trip. It's been a steady stream of travelers all day at the airport, one of the busiest days since this pandemic started. Channel 2's Tom Jones live at Hartsfield-Jackson. And Tom, people you talk to say they feel safe traveling.
That's right. As you take a look at the lines, it's been this way all day. Many people I talk to say they have gotten the vaccine and they are following safety precautions. So they say now is a good time to visit family they haven't seen in a year or more.
Travelers like this little one were racing through the airport, ready to board a plane for the holiday weekend. Many hadn't traveled in a while because of the pandemic. So they are using the holiday to see relatives they hadn't seen in a while. Caleb Fector and his twins are leaving Atlanta after visiting the twins' grandfather.
It's been about a year and a half. Grandpa's COVID. He's skittish about COVID.
Now that Grandpa has gotten his vaccine, it is safe to see him.
Grandpa was very excited to see him.
The airport was packed with travelers who are getting away for spring break or just taking a much-needed trip. I talked to several people who said they felt comfortable flying for one reason.
We're fully vaccinated.
We're both vaccinated, so.
The airport expects some 900,000 passengers over the holiday weekend. It is urging people to keep a safe distance, wear a mask, and use some of the many hand sanitizers it has installed.
No, I ain't worried about him. I'm covered in the blood.
LaDeborah McNeil and her daughter LaToya are headed to California to see LaToya's grandmother. They haven't seen her in a year and say it is time.
We're just gonna go by and see her, see how she's doing. She got her vaccine.
And the airport has purchased some 3 million masks in case you come here and don't have one. They're also urging people to get here 2 hours before your flight because there is so much extra traffic here. We're live at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
Thank you, Tom. Tonight, police are warning bank customers to be aware if someone's watching. Roswell police say someone pulled a gun on a man in the parking lot of this Bank of America. The victim had just withdrawn a huge sum of cash to pay rent. Channel 2 spoke to other customers who say they do their banking online to reduce the risk.
You never want to run that risk because you never know who's in the parking lot, who's lurking, who's watching.
Roswell police are comparing notes with investigators in Alpharetta and Forsyth County. They're looking at nearly a half dozen cases where robbers followed or targeted customers outside their banks.
We have new developments. A South Fulton City police officer will serve a 3-day suspension for a confrontation during a car crash earlier this year. An investigation of the incident from January found that the corporal, Solomon Muhammad, violated his department policy. And the man who posted on social media from that day says that Muhammad pointed a taser at his chest as he recorded video of him. He says he asked the officer why he wasn't directing traffic near the scene of that accident. After 20 years, the good deeds of a Cobb County woman have returned in a big way. The young orphan who Pat Roten had sponsored in Lebanon since he was 5, well, now lives in Smyrna. Roten had sent Tariq Agil what she could financially. It helped the orphan boy get through school. This is the first time the two have met. Roten is now 89. She has dementia, but certainly the visit was good for everyone involved.
I think she was very happy to see him. She felt a good sense of, this is somebody I'm connecting with that I knew. I think she did.
Tariq told us it took some doing to find Pat. He lives in Charleston, South Carolina, and made 2 trips here before finally getting to visit with her. How great is that? Can you imagine? They sent letters back and forth for 20 years, all leading up to that moment.
Right, and he made the trip, you know, moving here, but also in a pandemic. He made sure to go find her and see her. So, yeah, great little visit there.
Good stuff.
So we want to say thanks to our Channel 2 Action News viewers. We were able to fill 5 truckloads with supplies for tornado victims in Noonan. The convoy of care today made its way to Coweta County. Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie reports an army of volunteers are making sure those items go where they're needed most.
A Coweta County official told us the donations to the convoy of care will eventually wind up in this amazing room where personal shoppers will fill the needs of Noonan tornado victims who come here.
1 minute of a blink of an eye, everything changes so fast, so instantly. I'm still shook. Yeah, I'm blessed to be alive.
I like to call it God's work because we're helping somebody who can't readily help themselves.
Call the Convoy of Care a community coalition.
Lord, let us be a blessing.
That came to a community in need on Good Friday.
It is very Good Friday.
It absolutely is a Good Friday. What better time?
A coalition of Channel 2 viewers.
They blew me away.
Law enforcement groups, the trucking industry, and more.
This is really a bad situation to our neighbors, and we are excited that we could contribute to this effort.
Love shining through like the blue lights.
My guys love doing stuff like this. I mean, you can't help but want to be a part of this sort of help.
We wanted to tell the story of what will happen with the supplies once unloaded, and not just from the convoy.
This is where the deliveries that have been dropped off are sorted and boxed. The storm victims are brought in through this door, and they are met by a volunteer who takes their information down. This is where our volunteers are essentially doing personal shopping for the storm victims after they meet with them and assess their needs.
Somebody called me and woke me up. By the time we left and go inside the hallway, the tree fell in my bedroom. And it just happened so fast.
These are some of the supplies you just picked up here.
Yes, it is. They
you
gave
lost
us
everything except your lives.
Did. Yeah, except for my living room set, but yeah, we did. It's a lot of people out here showing a lot of love. The community with Coweta County, and I do appreciate everyone with the support.
We've seen all kinds of miracles since this event happened,
not losing lives like it should have been, but to see the miracle of people coming together.
I'm very thankful and blessed for all the help that we have received.
Ms. Mickle told us some of the supplies in this room will also be loaded up for delivery directly to affected areas. In Coweta County, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
ABC World News tonight, just a few minutes away. Here's what's ahead at 7. The deadly confrontation today just outside of the U.S. Capitol. The search for a motive as U.S. Capitol Police grieve losing one of their own. That's coming up next at 7.
The markets were closed today in observance of Good Friday.
The Stock Report on Channel 2 is sponsored by Power Home Solar.
I'm George Estevez. At WSB Tonight, we know local investigations are important to everyone. Our reporters constantly research and follow leads, breaking down how an issue really affects you. Watch WSB Tonight at 11 on Channel 2.
Homeowners are fed up with their high utility rates and they're tired of their power outages. Join the solar revolution, America. Call us at 1-800-POWER-90 and get the first 12 months on us. That's 1-800-POWER-90. Power Home Solar and Generac, the new superpower in home energy.
There was a time when the world felt freshly painted, when meadows blossomed in brush-stroked bloom, and the tulips wove a tapestry of pastel light and morning dew. There was a time when we marveled at the beauty within us and at the art on all sides and all around. It was a glorious time. It was spring. This spring at Biltmore. Experience the splendor of spring with Biltmore Blooms.
Here's another home ready to get Window World windows, and this is why they chose us.
Window World is America's #1 replacement window company. And since we sell so many windows, we can beat anybody's prices. Our windows are made right here in the USA. Energy Star rated, backed by the Good Housekeeping seal, with a lifetime transferable warranty, including glass breakage. At Window World, not only do we stand behind our windows,
We stand on them.
call us now for your free in-home estimate.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Life's full of little accidents. And the Hyundai Tucson helps make sure they stay little by alerting you if you drift out of your lane and even gently correcting your steering. Because unlike your favorite shirt, you are irreplaceable. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash or $3,500 in savings on the 2021 Tucson. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
It's your home and one of your biggest investments. Harry Norman Realtors provide unmatched luxury real estate services for Atlanta.
Couldn't have asked for a better experience.
Outstanding customer service went above and beyond.
Harry Norman is Atlanta's first in luxury.
Homeowners are fed up with their high utility rates and they're tired of their power outages. Join the solar revolution, America. Right now, I'm making solar affordable with the first 12 months on us. Power Home Solar, it's time to own your power.
Much of the country has its eyes on Georgia's controversial new voting law.
This is Major League Baseball decides today the 2021 All-Star Game will not take place at Atlanta's Truist Park. It was scheduled there this summer, but the league says it made the decision to relocate after speaking with members of the Players Association, saying fair access to voting continues to have our game's unwavering support.
New numbers in Georgia's vaccine effort shows many counties are running a surplus of shots. The extra doses are found at major pharmacies like CVS and Rite Aid. Now, the folks that gather that data say it looks as if conservative and working class communities often have those extra doses.
And we want to thank you so much for counting on Channel 2 Action News.
Don't forget, we're always updating you on all of your streaming devices, including your smartphone. Join us back here for WSB Tonight at 11. ABC World News Tonight with David Mura's next. Have a good evening, everyone.
Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Tonight's primetime lineup is sponsored by Woodstock Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
There's a place where you always feel at home and never have to wait for a sale because we always give you our best price. North Georgia's best kept secret, Woodstock Furniture and Mattress Outlet.
This is American Idol. Sunday and Monday, Idol is back in front of a live studio audience. This is it. All your favorites team up for the all-star duets. Wow! With Catherine McPhee, Jason Aldean, Jewel, Brian McKnight, Tori Kelly, and more. Then, for the first time this season, you decide